baby.
In 5.
Wow. Nice job. Nice job.
Okay, you can call them up.
All right, Mrs. Hammer.
Kelly Hammer.
Mrs. Hammer, if you would like to come to the front, please. You're introducing, so I thought that you would want to go first. We're ready.
3 minutes.
I'm here with the Jefferson Transportation Association on behalf of a few of our great, wonderful bus drivers with us. We're just here as an introduction. Not all of you have met us or seen us or know who we are. That's what we want to do today. Just let you know a little bit about us. I've been in the district with my children for 35 years. I have 5 children who have graduated from Jefferson. 14 years I was at the PTO at SOAT. 14 years I worked at North Elementary, and this is my 7th year driving the school bus. And I love driving the school bus. We're under the direction of Mr. Jody Dunn and Carrie Wendells, who isn't here due to her wedding anniversary. And there's Barb, who was our fearless leader for so long. And we just want to say some things about, us, so you know us, what we do, and so I'll introduce Cindy Knight. Okay.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Just a sec. Thanks for this opportunity. Okay, so I'm here, and I've seen that pledge over there, and I said, I'm going to elaborate on the last sentence there, stay focused on safety and learning, and that's us as bus drivers. Very important. I build a rapport with all of my students, some parents. We do affirmations on our buses to bring up positivity for these kids. We say stuff like, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am helpful, I am kind, and I just let them take over. It gets crazy. And then when we have birthdays for the day, they let us know. When my birthday's today, so everybody sings happy birthday with the kids. So this is very important, not just for them, but for me, because it helps me with all of them and their behavior. Keep the eyes on the road. We have so much responsibility with that. We're listening for trains and sirens. We can hardly hear the sirens, and the kids screaming, and that's fun. Let's see, I got a bunch of stuff. We have anywhere between 30 and 50 kids on our bus, which is twice as much as you have in a classroom. And that can get overwhelming, but you have to stay focused. So we ask, what is that worth to you to keep our kids safe, to keep them happy? Okay. Good.
Thank you.
All right. Big Al, if you would like to come up next.
So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Alan, Big Al Minipenigan. Most people call me Big Al. I've only been driving bus for 6 months now, so I'm new to the group. You had to adjust the camera.
Yeah, I sure did.
So people ask me, why did I decide to be a school bus driver? So the first reason was Kelly Hammer lives in the drives in the neighborhood, and I had just retired, and she stopped and said, Little Bird told her that I might be interested in driving a bus, and I thought, I'm just retired, I don't know. So I thought about it. She stopped me again. I thought about it, so then I decided to apply. So one of the reasons was I feel it's more than a job. It's like a service for the Jefferson community, taking the kids to school and helping the community out. And secondly, or the most important thing is that I love children. I've always loved kids, and I thought maybe I could drive the bus, make a difference. So one of the things I do on my bus is I have a question of the day every day, whether it be a riddle or just a general question. So one of the questions was, how many hearts does an octopus have? Anybody know? 3. Octopus had 3 hearts. So I don't get everybody doesn't participate, but as I go along, I get more participation from the kids. I get to know them. I know where they're coming from. They know where I'm coming from. So it's just one of the things I do. But the kids' safety is the most important thing of driving the bus, I feel. I've only been here 5 months, but that's how I feel. When the kids get on the bus, they're my kids, right? Oh,
Keep going, you have a minute.
okay. So that's how I feel. They're my kids when they get on the bus. Until they're off the bus, then they're still my kids, right? So we're not only just bus drivers, we're parents, we're aunts, we're uncles, we're grandparents. We try to build relationships with the kids. And these other bus drivers have been here a lot longer than I have, so they could probably elaborate more on that. But that's how I feel as a bus driver. It's not really a job. It's a calling for me. I love kids. Everybody says, why did you want to be a bus driver? You're crazy. I said, I'm not crazy. I just want to help the kids, right? That's why I'm here. So, the staff has been overwhelmingly accepting of me, and I appreciate them so much for their help. I'm learning, always learning. They've been so helpful to me, so I really do appreciate being a bus driver for Jefferson Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Kelly Schaefer?
Hi, Kelly Schaefer, and it's really nice to finally meet all of you, because the only one I know is Michael and Barb. God bless you, Barb, for putting up with me all them years. And it's really, really nice to have Jody and Carrie this year. Things have really improved this year as compared to 2 years ago. And we have a wonderful group of drivers. We really do. It's more like family now than coworkers, except for the tall ones. But I feel the same way as Al. I love driving bus, and I love kids. I've got 61 kids on my bus, and it is absolutely bonkers sometimes. But we have great Christmas parties. We have great Halloween parties on the bus, and I decorate the whole side of the bus. The last day of school, we have a luau. There's grass hanging on my ceiling, and everybody gets sleighs, and the boys get beads. But it's really, I think it's the most special job I've ever worked. And it has a lot of responsibility, especially driving down in front of Kroger. A lot of responsibility. I don't know why people just want to whip out from a big yellow bus, but they do all day long. But I think that's it. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is it Kim Massingill? Did I say that right? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Kim Massingill, and I just came back this year as a substitute driver. I've been driving bus for the city, between the city driving and school driving for 12 years now. I originally started driving because I have a special needs son, and I went into transportation to talk to him about him on the bus and getting on the special needs bus. And they saw that I was a driver at Lake Erie Transit, and they're like, hey, we know you're having issues with your son. He gets kicked out a lot. He gets suspended. He got sent home because he gets migraines. They're like, we will help you out. You come over here. You can drive for us. Take your son on your bus. And I was like, that sounds good, because I was getting calls from work and having to tell them I need to leave. My son needs to be picked up. And so coming to this job allowed me to have a job and still raise my son.
And so, I worked for 4 years, came back, did some substituting, just came back this year as a substitute again. And so I have to learn everybody's route. I substitute, and when I'm not substituting, I am on their buses, learning their students, learning their routes. And what is it, 10, 12 routes that we have that I have to know and kind of know who the children are, where they're going, if they're getting off the right stops. New students coming and going, so it's a lot to learn, but we've done it, and so we just want to kind of introduce ourselves a little bit and just let you know where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and is it Worley? Sorry, my eyes aren't great. My reading skills aren't great. Don't tell anybody.
Well, I was sure Mineral Public Schools for 20 years. In my last year, I got driver that left my car on my bus and shattered my right wrist. I wasn't able to drive. I couldn't work the air brakes on the buses. So after a year of not completely recovering, they released me. And I've always wanted to drive again. And Carrie actually said something to me when I interviewed. She said, "I want you to do this on your terms this time." And that just, to me, that was just the best. It is on my terms now. And I love it. There's no job I would ever do that any more than I love driving the school bus. I absolutely adore kids. That was my biggest thing is, I worked some retail and did this and that in between, and nothing compares to working with kids. I used to play spelling games on my bus when I drove to Monroe. And in 2009, Julie Everly was the principal at Raisinville School. And we would get to the school in the mornings a few minutes early. And the breakfast kids would go in, and I played spelling games on the bus with my kids. We divided up into teams and played spelling games every day. Well, then she found out about it, and she called the newspaper. She called Bob Virgil to come out first, then the newspaper, and they did a front page article about me and more than just a ride to school. And I think that represents all of us. We're all more than just a ride to school. I rode with every one of these drivers because I knew I'm a sub, so like him, I'm riding with everyone. And the kids, you build such a relationship with kids. Even now, I can go somewhere and this kid will come up to me, and adults now, and they say, "Miss Blair, you were my bus driver. Don't you remember me?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're a little older, but yeah." But the kids are what it's about. My goal was always to send the kids in the morning with a smile on their face, and to send them off my bus in the afternoon with a smile on their face. So I like to get around with them, and even when they're sad, like on some of the buses, some of the kids will get on and they're not happy in the morning, so they're crying or they've had a bad day or a week or whatever. And when I'm riding along, I go sit with them and talk to them and ask them what's going on. And they have a lot going on in their lives, and I get that. A lot of the behavior problems, they're not their fault. I don't think kids are bad. I think kids just have had situations to deal with. So, but I'm happy to have joined Jefferson now. So I wanted to drive again, and so I'm loving it. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is all, and there are no written communications.
No written communication?
None.
Moving on to the report of the superintendent and superintendent updates.
All right, we have a lot.
We're ready.
Buckle up. Okay, Miss Sarah Crabtree resigned as the North Elementary art teacher effective February 28th. Elizabeth Burke is currently the technology teacher at North Elementary, and she is going to replace Miss Crabtree. That was able to happen. We're super proud of Miss Burke. She was a tot, and she just finished her certification. And so she now has the same certification as Miss Crabtree in visual arts, which is really important to us because we have that music grant that we have to fulfill with certified staff and the proper specials. Thank you. So we're excited for that. So we just posted the position, if you noticed, for the technology teacher, and that's why the technology teacher position was posted and not art, because Ms. Burke is going to slide into art. It was like a perfect scenario. So we wish Ms. Crabtree the best. And so we are currently looking for a technology teacher for North. Emily Swears, she received her interim teaching certificate, also a tot, and she has now also received her cert and will now be an official JEA member effective January 23rd. So she was. And then Ms. Burke received her interim teaching certificate, and she will be an official JEA member effective February 10th. She was. EduStaff new hire Letitia Abalos for our water safety instructor at the rec center, which is huge. I know Ms. Epler has been looking for that position for a while, so it's exciting. And then we have a list of our 2025 spring coaches that's attached to the agenda for all of you board members to review. Those aren't needed to be approved by the board for hire because those are through Arbiter. Okay. Other updates, just one update on our curriculum. Later on in the agenda, you'll see that we are moving forward with our math, our Eureka Squared. Super, super excited about that. That's our pre-K through 5th grade updated math curriculum, which is all state aligned with our standards, and both SOT and North staff and administration are super pumped about moving forward with that. So we are able to purchase that. We'll go into detail later on. Our ticket booth project is going very, very well. I'm super impressed with the work and the organization of the project and keeping the area safe and organized. We appreciate them very much. Mr. Keyline is doing a nice job leading that. I also want to bring up the fact that it is no secret to some of you here on the board, but we are struggling with Infinite Campus, and I want to apologize publicly for families and staff. I sent an email to staff letting them know I am so sorry that there's been several, when we had our snow days, several times the phone will ring. Karen and I are both like struggling to the nth degree with this whole process. Some staff are put into it, some staff are not. We are looking to go in a direction different than Infinite Campus for next school year. I did let staff know that. I'm open to ideas from staff, but it sounds pretty supported. In the meantime, I really appreciate Ms. Montrief from the ISD. She is going to meet with me and Karen here next week to go over some things that maybe Karen and I can do in the interim to finish out the rest of the year. Hopefully we don't have any more snow days. I know that disappoints people, but if we do, but it's not just a dislike because of the snow days and because of how it's not working the greatest for us. There's a lot of different reasons. Special education is not in that database. We are looking at other options where, like, Power School is where all of our special education forms are located. And then we have to upload all special education forms up into Infinite Campus. So it just doesn't connect, whereas Power School has the option of both. My whole background is MyStar. So, but the county really doesn't use that. Monroe and Airport both use Power School. They did leave Infinite Campus land as well. So just want to, that's very surface level, but I just want to give an FYI to the board that is being looked into. So our therapy dogs, they were initially on the agenda. I want to explain to the board why they were removed. So it was brought to my attention. It might not be the best idea to have the pups in a different area. There was some concerns with the puppies not being fully vaccinated, and they might, we don't want them to get sick. So I was more than happy to move the, like that.
Are they sick? Is one of them sick?
No. So if they're not fully vaccinated, it was brought to our attention that maybe that they needed some more time to get fully vaccinated so they can come more into public. So we are putting them on the agenda. I know there's disappointment, but you are welcome to come and see them anytime. But they will be here at the March 20th, our March meeting. They'll be fully vaccinated then, all three. But I would like the community to hear Bear is our dog that is at the high school. He lives with the G family. He has been a lovely addition to our home. He is probably the cutest little thing you'll ever see in your life. Big puffball. He is only 9 weeks old, but he weighs 20 pounds already. His paws are huge. He is expected to be over 150 pounds. So I literally Googled what is the largest hypoallergenic non-shedding therapy dog, and the Saint Berdoodle is what came up. And so he is half Saint Bernard, half poodle, and he is going to be humongous. If I could draw a comparison for a visual for everybody, if you could visualize Barkley from Sesame Street, that is what Bear is going to look like. A big giant fur ball with fluffy hair. The high school kids got to meet Bear yesterday and today, and the staff got to meet him today. We took a picture. Miss Crosley just posted on the high school Facebook page. Everybody is going nuts over him. We have Bosco, as you guys know. Bosco is at the middle school. Bosco is an Aussie Doodle and will be roughly about 30 to 40 pounds. So cute, tri-colored little Aussie Doodle. So he is the little pup right now, but he will get bigger as well. Not as big as Bear, but he will be at the middle school. And then we have Blue, freshly named BLU, at North. Blue is a Bernedoodle, came from the same breeders as Bear. I drove to Indiana, brought them both home. It was a disaster. On the way home, I had all the kids in the car. I had 5 kids with me that got to come with me to Indiana to pick them up. And both Bear and Blue got car sick and all over my car, and both areas, both ways. It was a disaster. 3-hour drive home in that. So super fun, but they're great now. Neither one of them are sick and they're great. So we know that they do not enjoy long car rides. Yes. So Blue was voted by all of the students at North. Blue is going to be living with Mrs. Little, and she is doing wonderful. And the kids adore her, so that way they could see from puppy stage to grown up stage when they're grown. Blue was voted obviously because of Jefferson Blue. I think there was a few other names. Oh, North was considered, Luna, or the other ones was else? And Coda. North and Blue were the top 2, right? Yeah. So Blue it is. So all B's: Bear, Bosco, and Blue. Okay. All right. So by the way, they will be trained, and they will, once they're trained, training starts at 6 months, just so the community knows. Therapy dog training doesn't start until the dogs are 6 months old. And once they're 6 months old and can get the therapy, they'll be completely certified, certificates and all. Wolf Lodge here on Dixie are super excited to help us out with that. And then once they're trained, they will literally be like let free throughout each building, walk in the hallways. The kids at the high school today were like, so like Bear's just gonna like walk the halls? I go, yes, he is your dog. Absolutely. Yes. And he will be walking the halls, so they're really excited about that. Next, Deb found MD sent us another grant opportunity. It is a competitive grant. It's surface level, but I just want to make you guys aware that we are considering applying for this grant. It is for a class at the high school called a community health worker grant. It's for $275,000. And this would be an additional CTE course. So a community health worker, Ms. Crosley helped us by looking it up, is more along with like our health department workers, where it would help our students take the classes to become certified to work with the community's health department. It is surface level at this point, but we wanted to make you aware that we are looking into it. And one of the reasons why we are moving forward with it is because it falls under the health occupations for CTE courses, where it's reimbursable and helps us get up more Perkins money. So we're trying to be a little bit more strategic with our planning for CTE, where we pick things like health occupations. This one, for example, the community health worker, different courses that we get the reimbursement for the funding for the district. So that was one of them. We are in the middle of still negotiations with transportation as well as our JEA. We're looking to really close these out ASAP, both of them. So we look forward to moving forward with that work. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Borelli. Is he still in the room? Mr. Borelli is representative from the MEA, and he has represented all of our groups that are affiliated with MEA. And I just want to give a shout out. I was on negotiation teams throughout my teaching and principal career. And I've worked with lots of different people from MEA, and Mr. Borelli has been an absolute pleasure. So I'm grateful to have him a part of our Jefferson family. I also would like to give a positive shout out. It's exciting to be able to speak positively about the ISD in regards to special education. It has improved truly like a 180. Now that we are under the direction of Miss Rayanne Turner, I want to give her a public shout out to the community, to everybody that are here this evening. Miss Turner has been a breath of fresh air with hearing the concerns of our Jefferson staff, and not just the staff, but also our families and our communities. It is not perfect, but that has nothing to do with Miss Turner. We are working in a wonderful direction. The ISD has partnered with a contract company to put the teachers in place, but both SOT and North, to fill the long time vacancies of both of the LBSE classrooms at both of those buildings. So we're excited to be able to relieve the teacher consultants that have been working unbelievably tirelessly, that are rock stars from the ISD for those programs. So I talked with Dr. Kopke yesterday, actually, at our county superintendent meeting, and she was super positive about the teachers that she found through the contract companies, because contract companies are not the easiest to work with. But right now, due to not having any applicants for those positions, that's where we're having to work with. So we will welcome those staff members with open arms. We hired a new principal, and I'll pause on that until we get to there in the agenda at North. I want to also give a shout out to the Jefferson Middle School PTO. They are working tirelessly. I got to meet with them at a PTO meeting. There's a dance coming up tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night. The middle school has been heard. There has been, as you guys are aware as the board, that there's not been a lot of fun activities going on in the past few years. And they're already planning the 8th grade dance as well. Just very proactive. And right now, they're the only building in the district that have a PTO. So I'm speaking of this, hoping the community hears me this evening, that hint, hint, we could really benefit from having a PTO at SOT North and even at the high school to help us with guiding all of our fundraisers and bringing more to our kids, because our budget is allocated to only so much. But as a previous principal, PTO is so incredibly important to help us with those fundraisers and help us with those fun activities for the kids, field trips, activities that are brought to the school. We need some more parents to step up at SOT North and at the high school to help us with planning and fundraising opportunities for all 3 buildings that don't have it. And if there's any questions, we can hook them up with the PTO at the middle school that we're working with, but I'm also happy to help guide the process. And then I'm super excited to share that Deb and I have been meeting with Miss Brown from our food service department on the spend down money for our food service. We have a pretty healthy amount of money to spend, and we have to spend it. Otherwise we could get cited for not spending the money. So we're looking to improve the experience of food service altogether. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Brown for her willingness and openness to be so outside the box in her thinking for what we can do for kids. And she is looking to redo the service line and the kitchen at the high school, and just to provide some major updates that would increase our opportunities also for food options for our kiddos. She's looking to improve the service lines at our other 3 buildings, so not just the high school. One of the things that we are doing is tomorrow, me and Miss Brown are driving to Woodhaven School District, because they just redid their entire food service line and stuff at the high school. And one of the things that they have is a cafe where it is staffed, and the kids can come and get their coffees and whatever they want, in between classes, whatever. Super popular. And it's an actual cafe that was built with the spend down money. So we're going to look at Woodhaven to get some ideas. And then also yesterday I learned from Bedford superintendent that they have a large amount to spend as well from their spend down, but they just put a lot of money into their cafeterias at all of their schools. So I talked with Miss Brown. I don't even think I've updated you on this yet, Deb, but I talked with Miss Brown last night about my meeting yesterday, and she is excited and also willing to go to Bedford to check out their stuff that they're doing for their kids. That were all approved on the spend down list of what we can use the money for. In the meantime, we did immediate things with slushing machines, and they're coming to the buildings to have slushies because it's very popular at the high school, and we are bringing it to our middle school and elementary schools. Yes.
Sugar.
Yes. Yes. Again,
My kids aren't allowed, sorry.
lots of fun. Almost done. So the last, not last, but second to last, Care Solace update. If you remember, we partnered with Care Solace. It's one of the things I brought to the district with my background, working with this company. And the ISD was wonderful to partner with all of the local school districts to help us alleviate the funding for it. So the ISD did provide a payment. We provide a portion, purchasing of Care Solace, but the ISD pays majority, right? Would you say ish?
Yeah.
Okay. Care Solace, just to remind everybody, is the online opportunity to put in referrals for students and or families and or staff that need mental health support through therapy. It is a free service to our families and our students that need something. What I love about it and what is so popular about it is it provides students the opportunity to have virtual appointments. And I've had kiddos in my own personal as a principal as young as kindergarten have Care Solace therapy appointments, and they can be virtual. So even our families that struggle, that may not have the ability to have a vehicle to get to and from appointments or the gas money or even a vehicle at home, they can have virtual appointments right on their cell phone to help support their kiddos. Families also can have family therapy. Staff can put in referrals for themselves or others. And I'm super excited when we had a meeting Monday with, no, Tuesday. My days are packed. With the county, Margot, who is the mental health coordinator for the ISD, gave Jefferson a shout out. We are the #1 district in the county putting in the most referrals for our families and students by a long shot. Like, we have really bought into it. And I wanted to give our staff a huge shout out, because if the needs aren't being met at home with our kiddos, they're not going to be met at school. And there has to be a bridge and a connection between home and school, and Care Solace allows us the opportunity to do that. So kudos to our staff for helping us bridge that gap. And thank you to the families that are having those vulnerable moments, because it's not the easiest sometimes when you have to let your guard down in front of school staff and say, hey, you know what, my kiddo at home could use some extra support. Well, even as grownups, we know that sometimes we go through things that are really heavy, and it's really nice to be able to have an outlet and to know that our community at Jefferson can provide that for families has been absolutely outstanding. So proud of everybody in the entire community for that. Last but not least, I want to thank our bus drivers. What a wonderful idea and a wonderful kind gesture on behalf of our transportation department. They provided our board with dinner this evening with a lovely chili bar and some delicious homemade desserts. And I thought that was wonderful. And thank you for coming and introducing yourselves. Oftentimes we don't get to see everybody that we want to, and I know the board especially doesn't. And even from myself and my lens, I don't get to see all of you at all. But as a previous, like I said, not just a parent, a teacher and principal, and now in the job I do today, thank you so much for all you do, bus drivers, because as a principal, I ride the bus a lot when my kiddos would misbehave outside of my building, because that was not okay with me. And I would get right on that bus and be like, are you kidding me right now? You've lost your mind. Like, we don't act like this in the school. We're not going to act like this here. I know exactly what you deal with, and I've seen it firsthand. You have a very important job, and I just want to thank you again on behalf of Jefferson administration, for myself. I know the board will agree. I don't want to speak individually for the board members, but you are not unseen, even though we haven't met you. I mean, I have, but the board hasn't met you maybe personally, but please know that we know how awesome you are. Okay. That's it, sir. That was a long one, I told you. Sorry.
Good?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Second.
Thank you. I don't get to speak later. Got it all out.
We're gonna skip that piece. New business, general fund bills. I need a motion to receive the recommendation of the committee of a whole regarding the payment of the general fund bills.
Motion.
Mr. Barton, supported by Mr. Foster. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject B is the approval of the minutes. Motion to approve the minutes for January 2025.
Motion.
Mrs. Lancaster,
Support.
was that Mr. Foster? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject C is the hiring of Vanessa Rosecrans, North Elementary Principal, Motion to approve Vanessa Rosecrans as the North Elementary Principal effective February 24th, 2025, pending satisfactory completion of the criminal history check and Public Act 189, 1230B requirements.
Motion.
Support.
I'll give the motion to Mr. Foster, supported by Mrs. Lancaster. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Would you like to welcome her now?
I would, yes. Thank you. Ms. Rosecrans, I would like to introduce you to everybody here. If you can stand up, if that's okay. If you're willing to just give a little. Sure, you can. Absolutely.
Nice to meet everybody. How are y'all? Good. I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to serve all of your wonderful kids and all of the incredible staff, many of which I had the opportunity to meet at the interviews. Even seeing the transportation staff coming out tonight, like that really warms my heart and feeling like we're all in the same boat in terms of wanting to be here to do what's best for kids. So seeing that really just made me feel like I made the right move, I'm in the right place, and I'm just so excited to support staff, to support students, and to get to know the families and the community. So I appreciate you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Subject D is the hiring of Alyssa West, social worker. Motion to employ Alyssa West as a social worker at North Elementary effective February 3rd, 2025. New employee paperwork has been completed and satisfied.
Motion.
Mr. Barton,
Support.
supported by Ms. Lancaster. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject E is the varsity football team travel request. Motion to approve a request for the varsity football team to have private transportation and an overnight stay, both funded by the football club for their game against Benzie Central on October 24th, 2025.
Motion.
Mr. Foster. Mr. Barton. Discussion.
Yeah, where is Benzie Central District?
That's my question as well.
Near Traverse City?
Benzonia.
Near Traverse City.
Oh,
Crystal Mountain. Are you familiar with Crystal Mountain Resort? It's over here.
okay.
It's beautiful. It's a great area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
So
area.
we all would like to attend.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna call the booster, the football club to pay for it.
We did it
Yeah.
for private
Absolutely.
as well, right?
Yes. It is, yeah, it's in Benzonia, Michigan.
Big Al will drive us.
There you go. There you go. Bus drivers, you all go.
Okay, that was all. Okay,
I wanted to know. I was curious.
It's near Interlochen.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It's near Interlochen.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject F is the approval of PK 5 math curriculum. Motion to approve the math curriculum for grades pre-K through 5 to accept a quote from Great Minds in the amount of $126,513.68.
Motion.
Barb?
Yep.
Discussion? What is this?
Am I allowed to speak in discussion?
Absolutely.
Okay. Eureka Squared. So we currently have Eureka Math as what we use for our math program through pre-K through 5th grade. And Eureka Squared is the newest component of Eureka Math. And so it is aligned with all of the current state standards. So the staff were completely on board once Leanne did her magic working with staff and administration about whether we choose as a district to keep Eureka Math or look to go to a separate direction. And the staff were in agreement, and as well as administration, to keep Eureka because it's going very well and our scores are improving, but to get Squared so we can become even more current. Pardon? It's for 5 years. Thank you. I was going to forget to say that. So for 5 years, and so Squared is the current aligned state standard. So it's just the better version, upgraded.
I have to say, as a parent, it's not new math. There's no such thing. New ways of teaching math,
Yes.
Common Core standards.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
I love Eureka Math because I can go on and I can Google, and there are a multitude of teachers who have lessons step by step so I can learn, so I can teach my kid.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's fantastic. It's really, really
That's good to know.
nice because I don't know how to teach 5th grade math.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No,
It's like that show.
I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
You just ask my daughter. She will tell me.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Subject G is the selection of MASB candidate for Region 7. Need a motion to cast the Region 7 MASB ballot for candidate Corey McLaughlin.
Motion.
Support.
Mrs. Lancaster. Supported by Mr. Foster. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Now we're to communication. We have no more communication.
No more from the citizens.
And then administration, you can call any administrators
Yes,
for updates.
thank you. Ms. Bradley, we'll start with high school today.
As Ms. G mentioned, we have a new staff member at the high school, and everybody's in love with Bear already, and he has already, marked his spot in the office.
Yeah, I guess you sure
He
did.
owns the office now, but everybody loves him. He's a huge ball of lovable fluff. If you touch him, he's just going to snuggle you, and he runs after kids like he's known him forever. Everybody loves Bear, so we're super grateful to have Bear with us. We had 3 band students at the MSBOA Solo Ensemble Festival rank first, a duet of freshman flutists and a sophomore saxophone player who will compete now at the state level for the state MSBOA Solo Ensemble Festival on March 15th. So that's really exciting that we have these kids going to state. We also have 3 DECA students who at the competition in January qualified for states. And I have to point out that we haven't had DECA go to a competition now for 2 years, because last year was some things that were going on and they were unable to attend the competition. We also have Mr. Janot, who just took on DECA with his new position. So it's new to him. Kids haven't done a while, and they did so well at the January competition that 3 have been invited to compete at the state competition. Now we just have to do some fundraising, get some money together to send them on that trip. But we're really proud of all of them for what they've done so far. This time of the year, after first semester of senior year, class rank is announced. And today, Mrs. Power and I were lucky enough to get to introduce the top 10 at a senior class meeting during academic advisory. And I want to point out before talking about our top 10 that roughly half of our graduating senior class have at least a 3.0 at this point in their high school careers. This is GPA. So that is a super great average for like half of our senior class. Our top 10 and 11 and 12 are all graduating with over a 4.0, which you can only do through dual enrollment college classes and AP courses. So these are kids who have worked super hard for years to get themselves where they are. I have a picture I'm going to post on Facebook. I didn't want to blast it out too soon because I didn't want to tell the parents before they got to go home and tell their parents. But I will say tonight, and they know I'm going to say this tonight, that our valedictorian is Lindsay Janot, and our salutatorian is Joel. So you'll see the picture there, up 1 and 2 in the group photo to show where they are. We have 1 valedictorian and 1 salutatorian. Excuse me. Robotics has a competition the weekend of March 13th. It's their first competition. They will compete Thursday evening, all day Friday, and a good portion of Saturday. If you haven't ever been to a competition, it's a really cool experience. I'm a former dance mom, and I hope that Mr. Szymanski was long, don't kill me for this, but I kind of equate it to a dance competition weekend. People come with their teams in costumes. Family come in costumes, they gather together, they walk around. It's a huge event. It kind of reminds me of going to dance competition. So It's a fun experience to watch the kids with their robot try to get it to do for all things it's supposed to do on the spot. Next Friday, our counselors, Mrs. Powers and Mr. Gilbert, will be traveling to middle school to visit with the 8th graders and help them plan their high school career, and also give them information on our Jefferson Early Middle College so that they can apply to that if that's their choice in high school. After that, on March 4th, we will be meeting with the current 9, 10, 11th graders to help them plan their next year of high school. And in the meantime, we are currently working really hard to finish our updates and revisions to our curriculum guide with some new opportunities, some new course offerings that staff have come up with, and some changes to help our kids have more opportunities and the best plan that aligns with their college and career pathways for later on. Let's see, I have a couple more things. Oh my goodness. Last Friday, I got an email from the state of Michigan. Well, actually came from the ISD. Their welding program is fully approved. It is now a fully running CTE, state approved CTE program. Mr. Powers is also working with some students, trying to prepare them, wants to take them to a competition next month. There's a lot of scholarship money to be won in welding competitions, and he has plans to take some kids there. There's just going to be, he said, a lot of work in prepping them. He did kind of a late start with the late start of our lab. But he's working on that to get these kids an opportunity to win scholarship money. Also in CTE world, Autorama reached out to Mr. Smith, our auto shop teacher, and invited the auto shop club kids to participate. And so I think 5 or 6 of our auto shop club kids will be taking our Jefferson club vehicle to present it at Autorama in Detroit next weekend. So they are really excited about the opportunity to show their car in Detroit. And finally, if you're looking for something to eat on Monday and you're hungry and you don't want to cook dinner, Hungry Howie's, you can order some pizza from Hungry Howie's, and they will be, you just have to say you're there ordering for the band fundraiser, and 15% of all in-store orders and 30% of online orders will go to the Jefferson Band Program Monday night. Celebrate Hungry Howie. If you order online, give the code to school and Jefferson. Thank you.
It's only Crystal.
All right, Mr. Neto. Middle school.
Okay, and I mentioned before, if it seems like I'm reading, it's because I am a terrible public speaker. It's better this way.
You're all right.
Bosco, our 8-week-old puppy, is adapting well to our home and is learning basic training commands. We're waiting for him to be fully vaccinated and protected against parvo and rabies before introducing him to staff. Bosco is scheduled to begin training in March with Delta Canine. They are the training company who previously worked at the SMCC dog and the ISD's canine there. We're also continuing to compare other training programs and costs. Once trained, Bosco will hopefully start working 3 days a week by May with an appearance at the school soon. We're in the progress of planning and organizing for MSTEP testing and making sure students and parents are informed and prepared. Jefferson Middle School is hosting the Fire and Ice Dance tomorrow night from 5 to 7. And I will be in attendance. Look forward to providing additional events and gatherings for our students to enjoy in the future. Upcoming events. We've been working on a grant applications to secure funding for staff. Appreciation Day in May. We hope to receive this funding to create a special day dedicated to recognizing the hardworking staff at JMS. Additionally, we are applying for grants to provide reading supplies for students who may not have access to them. This would support a summer program designed to keep students engaged in reading over summer. Our Dr. Seuss event will take place on Friday, March 7th. This event will include creative writing activities, an assembly, guest speakers, a movie, and a treat from the support of the PTO for fundraising and popcorn. There's a trial yoga and meditation class scheduled for Monday, February 14th, and 20 students are currently registered. This will take place during their specialist class. If both students and parents find this class beneficial, we hope to make it a weekly and monthly offering. We also are applying for grants to fund the instructor and purchase match for the students. One last thing, the wrestling state finals at Fort Field week from Saturday. Most of you know that I'm the varsity wrestling coach. We have two fantastic students here, DJ Allen and Ryder Mulher, who will represent us in that. They reached a couple of milestones this past Saturday. DJ Allen eclipsed the 100 career mark for his career, and Ryder Mulher eclipsed the 150 mark, which is pretty impressive. These two young men have represented the Jefferson Wrestling Corps. These two young men have represented the Jefferson Wrestling philosophy of building people, and graduating champions. So we appreciate that. Right. That's all I got.
All right.
That wrestling's pretty important. So,
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Meadow.
Stop losing.
For sure. For sure. Ms. Wendells.
I'm also gonna invite Vanessa up with me too.
Oh, so nice.
Hi, everyone. So we have a couple things. First of all, welcome Ms. Rosecrans, our new principal. I'm super excited to meet her. Our kids are excited too, and our staff. We had some really fun Valentine's Day parties. Obviously, with our snow days, we kind of had to. Do you need me to shrink?
No, I got you.
Kind of run around and change the days. So our parents were super accommodating, and they were able to join us. The kids had so much fun. They were passing out all their Valentines and giving them to their teachers and other staff. They're just so kind, and they're the best. I just love our kids. NWA reports went home yesterday with all students. The teachers had them in their mailboxes. Blue, our new therapy dog, Amy touched on that. She is just the cutest little thing. The kids are absolutely obsessed with her. They were super excited to be able to vote on her name, and we just love it. She's just the cutest. I did, of course, push for a Disney name, but I was unfortunately shut down. But I just had to let you guys know I did that. Always check our Facebook for super cute pictures of her and all the fun things we're doing in the building and keep up to date. We're looking forward to March's Reading Month, and if anyone wants to come and read to our kids, please send Ms. Rosecrans or I an email, and we're happy to have you. And that's all for today, so go Bears.
Thank you, Bears.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Rowe. So,
I just want to start with a big thank you to Jen Brown for making Count Day super special for our little ones. The first Count Day that we have in October is always easy because it is picture day, so nobody ever misses picture day or Count Day. But this one's always a little tough. So I reached out to Jen, as always. She was so accommodating to get extra snacks and special little treats for the kids that attended that day, and then they all were able to receive that treat during lunch, so they were excited about that. I also want to give a shout out to Deb Hewson. She has been working, she's our kindergarten teacher and our lead teacher at for our kindergarten and young fives group. And she worked really hard on a grant to Imagination Station, and we just found out this week that we got it, but it is paying for everything except for busing. But still, that is all of our staff, all of our peer pros that are in young fives and kindergarten. It pays for every single chaperone, which usually doesn't count in a grant, and we are having a lot of chaperones this year so that it can be a successful field trip. So we were so proud of her for doing that. And then there will be one day where one of our kindergarten teachers will go. They have to do an hour-and-a-half training on everything that's going to be presented at the Imagination Station because of the grant. So I'm really excited for them to be able to do that. Tomorrow is Hawaiian Day at Soap Elementary, and hopes that we start getting some warmer weather because it's really cold out there on those pickup and drop-off times. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Also, our Yes Club celebration and assembly is next Wednesday at 9:30. So if you have some free time in your schedule, it should be a great time. They're going to honor all of our Yes Club members. And then they will have a special luncheon with a special table and a bunch of treats. And then that is also going to be the assembly where the top readers that raise $350 or more during our cookie dough fundraiser will get to notify the principal. So there are some kids that are really competitive about that. So I'm not sure what to expect. It's way more excited than I anticipated. So I'm like, wow, like I rigged this thing. I don't think you can go too crazy, but they're really excited. So I'm happy with that. March's Reading Month is getting started pretty early for us since March is a short month for us this year with the way our spring break falls at the end of it. So all of our raffle baskets will start being sold actually next week, and all that information is going home tomorrow to parents. Then we are celebrating March's Reading Month and Dr. Seuss's birthday the week of March 3rd through the 7th.
And each day is themed around one of Dr. Seuss's books. So Monday is the Sweet Book, it's a PJ day. Tuesday is the Cat in the Hat, so stripes, hats. Wacky Wednesday is Wednesday with wacky clothes. Thursday is Green Eggs and Ham, wear something green. And then Friday is all the places you'll go with the college of your choice of the shirt that you would like to wear in support of a university or a college or a dream. So that is it for social training.
Awesome. Love it. Very good. Mr. Dunn?
Well, I think I consider myself a bit of an outdoorsman. I like hunting, fishing, cold weather. Jefferson completed Jefferson High School gym handicap conversion from Rayhoon Group, finished and stopped conditions. We removed the extra toilets that were in there, so it's all completed and done. We completed the filter first identification process for the state. Thanks to Amy, thanks to Deb, they secured almost $100,000 to improve and upgrade the district. And we'll do that later this year, but awesome job. The CT welding program, the exhaust piping is almost complete. They ran into a bit of a snafu. The whole team got sick during the Christmas holiday period, and they should have had a majority of that done. They're currently working on it. It's up. They're tying it into the main exhaust unit. I think over the week this week they asked for they're cleaning out the extra room, the metal shop room. They asked for a dumpster. They wanted it right now because we couldn't get it. Because school's down, we had extra dumpsters that were empty. So we pulled our dumpster for transportation over there, and I don't know where they are. We're loading it up, but they're cleaning up their rooms or the extra rooms so they can move their classroom inside the other room. Air conditioning at Jefferson Middle School. We met with James Jacobs, architects at Avery Mechanical, to discuss the progress of the project. The mechanical end is done, and they're finishing up the electrical. We met with the state fire inspector last Friday, who approved all the mechanical part of it, and we'll be working with them again to finish out with the electrical when it's completed. Girls' locker room still in progress. We thought we'd get a little farther on it, but because of the cold weather and the snow and stuff, it put us a little behind. Football stadium project, as Amy mentioned, is going well. Jason Keyline actually noticed something in the specs, the blueprint for the caging for the footers. It was not in there. We got a hold of state. State told us what they needed, and we went back and got all that completed. So he did an excellent job in identifying that. All the fencing, the asphalt, the concrete has been done. The water lines have been capped off. That gravel brought in so the ground can be leveled, safe, and fenced off for everybody, for the kids. Job has been laid out for the footers to be done. Digging will begin next week, provided that we don't get rained out. Block has been ordered, and again, we're working with the state inspector to make sure that the steel cages are proper for the footing. The math wing chiller, as soon as Adrian Mechanical's done, we're going to have them look at that and see if they can get us a quote on that. Chemistry lab, was in 2 weeks ago. They're going to be out during spring break to finish putting them gas lines in the cabinets for the classroom. Fire panels and sprinkler systems, we're working with JCI and Macomb Mechanical to fix a couple areas identified by JCI as needing repaired. We asked Macomb Mechanical to come out and give us a second quote, a second opinion. It seems like we're just dumping a bunch of money into JCI, and I just want to verify that the cost is where it should be. Lawn service, we're ready to send out lawn service for an RFP. I need to review it with Amy, and then we'll put it out for the proper notifications. Greenhouse at North, sunroom, whatever you want to call it. Been working on this since I've been here. The Ohio Building Restoration said they would do it under $5,000. Depending on the cost of the glass piece, but I think it's going to be under $5,000. Way cheaper than anybody else that came out. Where a lot of people won't even touch it, but they say they can come out as soon as the weather breaks. They'll be able to finish it for us. Roofing, as you know, I've been meeting with companies left and right on roofing. I met with, Tremco. Again, I'm meeting with all these companies to try and get their perspective on a TAC plan. We have all these old roofs in the system, and it's just a matter of time before they either fall off or deteriorate. So we met with Tremco Roofing, roofing and building maintenance company, who provided us with more data. With that data from them and with the data from Weather Shield, I plan on putting together a plan for replacement plan that we'll be able to use in the future whenever we decide to start working on these roofing projects, whenever we get the money to start working on these roofing projects. Transportation, I think we missed Bill. Masters was here also with transportation. He's the driver for us. I just want to say this is an amazing team. Some that I call them all my friends. Actually, I call them friends that are family. So they're actually family to all of us. They take care of all your kids. They do an amazing job. I don't know if you've ever been on a bus lately, but high energy on the buses. They do an amazing job of keeping them calm, delivering them safe. So they do a great job. One other request, please. No slushies, no sugar before they get on the bus.
No.
Please, no. No, they have enough energy.
Sugar-free, right?
Yeah.
Sugar-free.
Not do that.
I'm dying.
That's all I got.
That is hilarious.
Thank you.
I love it, Mr. Gunn. Fantastic.
Anyone else? Deb?
Yes,
That was a great request.
it was a great request. Deb,
So I think the only things that we haven't touched on was the lockout company. We did do the 50% deposit down. So the
yes.
lockout company
Yes.
Working on getting all the pieces that they need ordered and everything going with that. So we did see the check was on the register. And then, for those of you that don't know, we did receive the TOPS grant, which is $391. So that pays for a large chunk of the lockout. In Form K-12, we did have the forms go live. We received responses on those forms. So we're getting our, for the conference forms, we got people filling them out. They're coming in. We also are going to be having the new hire form. They're going to be going live. If not this week, next week, because the snow days kind of put us a little behind, but those are still going. And then the other large thing that the office has been working on is for those that are eligible for the healthcare trust that we've been paying into the 3%. You will be getting the October, November, December as communicated through email on your February 25th payroll. So we've been doing the back end, which has been a lot of work. So, yeah, it's been substantial.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So the office has been extremely busy with that.
yeah, shout out to Deb and Karen and Christina. I mean, there are no words. It's been a team effort and we appreciate you guys very much for all of that. I lied. I forgot to tell you one other thing. So I'm going to take myself last. I sent an email to Carrie Blanchett from PFM to start and ask her what next steps are to start discussing the bond, to move us forward and what we're going to do for next steps and calendar wise and what we're going to end up going for and putting committees together to start that process. I did bring up, there were some other superintendents at the county meeting yesterday that were talking about the bond work that they're doing in their districts and how it all went. So I said that I would tap into some of them about ideas and what worked, what didn't work, who they recommend for certain things and who they don't. But I will say that I know that we very surface level preliminary discussed-ish with Ms. Blanchett and her team from PFM that we were looking at possibly the May 26th election. The ISD has asked us to reconsider that date because that is the date that they're going for their millage. So it's kind of a conflict. It doesn't mean we can't, but it new asked if we could just bring that to the board and ask if we could reconsider that date of what else we could consider for our bond. So I want to make sure that that is noted, that we are looking. Ms. Blanchett hasn't responded back to me yet, but just know that we're looking for next steps to start that process and hit the ground running. For some more money, hopefully we'll have community support to support our schools.
Okay. Closing comments from the board. I'll start with you, Mr. Bart.
Just thank everyone for the report. Appreciate all the work you do. The bus drivers, as probably a lot of you guys know that, my grandma drove bus for absolutely ever for Jefferson School District, 52 years. So I grew up in the bus driver family, so I know exactly how much work they put in, how much effort it is, what it takes to be a bus driver. So we do appreciate everything that you guys do for us and our kids. So thank you very much.
Mr. Foster.
All right. Yeah, like Mike said, thank you to the bus drivers. You guys are the first ones to see the kids when they get on the bus. I mean, you may be their first smiling face of the day before they get to the teachers and parapros, but you guys are the first line that they get to see. So thank you guys. And you're the last faces they get to see when you drop them off. Huge, because a lot of kids, it might be the last smile they see. We just, everybody's situation is different. One of the bus drivers had said, they hear stories from some of the kids, and we all know it's true. So there's some of their best times are with when they see a smiling face. So thank you guys. We really do appreciate it. Second, I do want to thank the teachers and the parents. They're the main line for our kids, and that's why we're all here. No difference. We're here for the kids. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's for the kids. Third, I want to thank the administrators. Obviously, you guys make it all tick. The orchestra. Jody, awesome job, man. I tell you, it's never ran like this. It's never has. Projects are going smooth. Everybody's happy. Just second to none. Amy and Deb, your guys' updates and leadership is, it's obvious. And lastly, welcome Ms. Rosecrans to the Jefferson family. That's it.
Lancaster.
I mean, how can I follow that?
Sorry.
No, it's good. Thank you so much to the transportation department for dinner tonight. It was delicious. I really appreciate it. I ate too much and now my tummy is sick. So too much of those delicious desserts. Thank you guys for what you do. I have 2 kiddos that ride bus every day, and they love it. They have a great time, and so I'm very thankful for you guys and the work that you do. Administrators, all the updates were fantastic as always. It's exciting to hear about the top 10 and how well our students are doing. It's lovely to see the excitement. And I love graduation, and I'm not missing it this year. So nothing planned. It's on my calendar. Thanks so much to all of the teachers that are here. It's always good to see your faces. I don't get into the buildings as much as I used to. Ms. Rosecrans, it's so nice to welcome you. My kiddos are both in your school, so you might see me pop in every once and again, but not as a board member, as a parent. Amy and Deb, thank you guys so much always for all of the hard work that you do and the good news that you guys keep bringing us. It's really lovely. And of course, Jody and all of his work and the pages and pages of reports that we get.
Yeah.
I don't take notes anymore. I just copy and paste into my notes.
I do want to thank all the administrators for all your hard work. We really do appreciate it. We are here, like everybody said, it's for the children. Bus drivers, my hat, is off to you. I know exactly what you guys do day in and day out. Jody, you're doing an awesome job. Thank you for the dinner tonight. Thank you, Deb, for everything you do. Amy, I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. And Mrs. Rosecrans, welcome aboard.
Hey, ditto, copy, all that. The dinner was wonderful. I appreciate it. Something that one of you said, that it's so much more than just a ride to school. And that's very true. I have 2 nieces and a nephew that ride the bus every day. And, I don't think their day always starts out the best at home sometimes because mornings are hectic. So they need that, they need to jump on that bus and see a smiling face every day. So we do appreciate that. Keeping them safe is our number one priority. And I couldn't do the job that you guys do. I don't think I would be the guy that says, I'm going to turn this bus around. But the dinner, again, it was wonderful. Ms. Rosecrans, welcome to the district. We're happy to have you in the Bear family. There's a lot of positive going on in the community about Jefferson. When I go to an event that's not even Jefferson related, I'm hearing good things about Jefferson. And that puts a smile on my face. That's what we've been striving for years. And it's only up from here. So thank you all for coming out. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn the board meeting. Supported by Mrs. Lancaster. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We are adjourned at 7:18. Did you end the stream?